Hello and welcome to California Speedway. I'm not sure what the name of the track is. California Speedway, California International, whatever. One of the something. But we're here at California for the Auto Club 500 or 400. One of the, I don't even know. But yeah, 75 laps here around this 2-mile California oval, a deep shaped oval, kind of like Michigan. There aren't many tracks built like a mile and a half that are 2 miles long anymore, so this track's kind of unique. But hopefully with this new package that we're trying this season, until we get safer barriers installed on these on every single track, we will not have your crazy 4 wide every lap racing. We will see a little bit of that on the start, but once we get a good green flag run going, it should spread out a little bit, as you'll see. But the green flag is out, and your pole sitter Ryan Newman brings them up to speed as he takes the green flag and already spreading out, fanning out 4 wide on the start here, heading down into turn 1 for the first time. And they're still 4 wide. Casey Mears, look at all these guys. The Labonte brothers side by side down the front straightaway. And that's not going to end well. Hard crash for Bobby and Terry. The Labonte brothers into the wall hard. Terry up on his side and rolls over. And more cars are destroyed further down. Chris Mack in the 86. Brendan Gaughan, the 77. Ken Schrader in the 72. I'm not even sure who was in the 72 this week. All destroyed here in turn 4. That's Ted Christopher in the 72. And the caution comes out instantly. And now you see why we don't have the restrictor plate package, because that kind of thing would happen way more often. 1 lap in and already chaos. What happened here? Oh, Kurt Busch got sandwiched between the Labonte brothers and the outside wall. I know that was a hard hit. Right into the outside wall. That's concrete. And he just gets sandwiched right in the middle. A very hard hit. And then avoiding the wreck, the 99 chops the nose of the 86. Sends him around. Chris Mack spins up into Ken Schrader, who had nowhere to go, who slaps the wall pretty hard there. And then these guys kind of plow into it late. I think Ted Christopher was already committed to the high side and kind of just smacked right into the back of the 77 and the door of the 49. And they all went into the wall. Cars everywhere here. Terry Labonte tries to keep it rolling. I mean, it was a pretty slow roll, but still, he hit the wall pretty hard as he got up on his side. Then got up on look at the tires. The front bumper into the window net of his brother's car. Bobby Labonte had Terry Labonte up on top of him for a split second. And Terry slides on his side. That's a slow roll over, and then wow. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. I mean, I have, but just the way Kurt Busch's car got smushed between the wall and the 2 Labonte brothers cars, that was terrifying. But luckily all drivers let the window net down. Kurt Busch was a bit slow to climb out, probably shaken up, understandably so. He went in hard, but everyone getting out under their own power here. Hard crash on lap 1 here at California. The driver's going at speeds over 200 miles an hour and running this close together. It's really inevitable. On board with Terry Labonte. Almost went roof first into the wall because he got up on the 2 wheels as he headed towards the outside wall after the first impact. Now on board with Bobby Labonte in the middle of this. Let's get sandwiched between the 2 cars. They all go into the wall hard. On board with the 86 of Chris Mack, who got his nose chopped in this, and it's just an innocent bystander, really. He was trying to avoid it. Tried to get through. He already got past, and then the 99 comes right down in front of him, and there's nowhere he can go, nothing he can do. And the slightest bit of contact in NR, if you're unlucky enough, can really just, or really, the slightest bit of contact in NR 2003 just sends you around. And if you're lucky enough, you can hang on to it, but it's very rare that you're able to hang on to the car in these cases. And he goes around into the wall after a pretty big hit from the 49 there. Ken Schrader, nowhere to go, nothing he could do. A lot of these guys just along for the ride, nowhere to go, nothing they can do, and they get collected in it. Just innocent bystanders there. So we're gonna take a quick break, but your leader is still the 12 of Ryan Newman after 1 lap of green flag racing here at California Speedway. We'll be right back after this. And we're back in the Auto Club 400 here at California Speedway. After a hard crash involving Kurt Busch, Chris Mack, and the Labonte brothers, as well as a few others like Brendan Gaughan, Ted Christopher, and Ken Schrader. They're all out of the race. Well, Chris Mack's still in it, but everyone else out of the race. Mack is really out on track right now trying to collect a few positions. He feels like that they're not done wrecking, so we'll see if he's right or not, but green flag is back out. We're racing once again here at California in a little bird's eye view of the action here. Your helicopter camera. And I'm sorry if you hear music in the background. Neighbors decided it would be a good idea to blast their music really loud. Or I'm not even sure if there's neighbors or not. It might be downstairs, who knows. But it doesn't sound like it's coming from inside the house. Meanwhile, Elliott Sadler just blew by Ryan Newman and Jimmie Johnson all on the bottom there to get to the lead. So now he's out in front here in the M&M's number 38 for Robert Yates Racing. And out and behind them, a little bit of 3 wide action. Look at Tony Stewart trying to make it 4 wide. It is a little bit more spread out than it was last season. Here comes Jamie McMurray to the inside of Elliott Sadler for the lead down the backstretch heading into 3. Chris Mack parking it here. McMurray, your new leader. Here comes his teammate in the 41, Casey Mears. Chip Ganassi Racing out in front. 1-2 here from California. Two youngins were rookies last season. Here now in their second season, first full-time season, but they raced enough seasons to, or enough races last season to really be counted as not rookies, and they were racing for Rookie of the Year last season. So that's not really something we do here, but you know, you see what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to come up with an excuse for why they don't have rookie stripes. But yeah, they're not rookies. That simple as that. But here comes Sterling Marlin, their teammate, further back, trying to work his way up to the front. 3 wide once again, out of turn 2. And while it's more spread out, we still get your close racing here with this package. It's just not as bunched up. It's not really a big cluster. These guys able to go some time without running into each other here. We're able to go a little longer without a wreck. 3 wide for the lead. Kasey Kahne in the middle. Tried to take the lead from the 42 with Jamie McMurray. McMurray stuck on the high side. He's going to drop way back like a rock. And now that's Tony Stewart in the 20. Making his way to the front. Kasey Kahne trying to stay in the draft with Jeff Gordon. Going to stay high. Stewart to his inside. Jeff Gordon decided to take it 3 all the way down on the bottom. Took the lead from both of them. Now here comes Tony Stewart trying to follow him through. Jamie McMurray staying in the draft. So is Casey Mears. 3 wide. On the top is Casey Mears. On the bottom, here comes Dale Jr. And the Ganassi car is going to have to check up here. And now, looks like this race is going to be dominated by Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart and those drivers once again here. These guys have absolutely been dominating this season so far. Other drivers are trying to make a run at it, but they just can't. Kasey Kahne doing everything he can on the high side to hold off Tony Stewart, but now it's going to fall back. The rookie Kasey Kahne in the 9 Ray Abraham Dodge. So close to holding him off, but just couldn't quite stay in it here. And maybe stay in the draft with the 20, get the run off the high side. No, Tony Stewart down to the bottom. Kahne trying to hang on to P3. Dale Jr. on the bottom here. Your Texas winner. He came out and stole that race a few races ago as it got shortened due to the threat of rain. Here comes Jimmie Johnson. Casey Mears into it as well. And then further back, kind of a gap between these guys. Matt Kenseth, the last car in that pack. Actually, Kenseth kind of gapped. He's in the middle of those 2 packs. And then further back is the rest of the field. That's Jeremy Mayfield leading the second pack as they try to run down the leaders, but they aren't organized. They're not working together. And then the rest of the field's kind of spread out. We got 4 cars in the backstretch that are just kind of chugging along here. And then the 3 and 4. So we might get some lap traffic issues here sooner or later. Unfortunately, it's that time where we have to take the break, and we'll be right back after this. Hello and welcome back to California almost said super speedway, California Speedway here. And we're about to have a battle for the lead here because Tony Stewart has run down the 24 of Jeff Gordon and is now all over his back bumper. Looking at the speeds down the back straightaway, 206 miles an hour in the turn 3. Now out of turn 4, down the front stretch once again. Looking at the speed charts once again. Down the front stretch, 207, 208, 209, 210 in the turn 1. For Tony Stewart, who was in the draft of Jeff Gordon, going 210 miles an hour into the first turn, pulls to the inside, and now they're side by side. Gordon with the run off the high side. Stewart doing everything he can down low to try to stay with it here. Not gonna let the 24 clear him because he knows if he does that, he has to build all that momentum back up and get another run and try to go for it again. Gordon not letting Stewart clear him. Goes down, a little bit of side drafting there. We rarely see that here in the MG Cup Series. Tried to make it work, but got up out of the groove. Unfortunately, had to check up. It's going to fall back a little bit here. Here comes Jimmie Johnson, your Kentucky winner from last week. Slowly catching as well. All these guys here. 3 of the most dominant drivers this season. You always see them running towards the front in these races. There's like 3 championship favorites here for the 2004 MG Cup Series season. We're still early into the season, but so things can change, but at the moment it looks like these 3 are the odds-on favorites. But here comes Jeff Gordon back to the bumper of the 20 with another run. Can he make it work out of turn 4 in the draft of Tony Stewart? Not going to have a big enough run to get to his inside in the turn 1. But he's definitely going to try it here. Stewart opens the door for him. He's going to let him to his inside. Maybe he knows something we don't. I'm not sure. But letting Jeff Gordon by, it seems. All of this battling is allowing the 48 of Jimmie Johnson to catch these 2 even more. Jimmie is now within a second of the 2 as we head into 1 and 2 once again. Out of turn 2, let's get a good flyby. Now down the front or back stretch once again into turn 3. Tony Stewart. A little bit of distance between him and Jeff Gordon now. Trying to run him back down. Meanwhile, further back, the Dodges trying to work together. That's Jamie McMurray and never mind. They're not working together, but Jamie McMurray and Kasey Kahne. McMurray takes the spot from Kahne in the 1 and 2. And off turn 2 clears him. A little bit of side-by-side action back here. Matt Kenseth, Dale Jarrett side-by-side in the 3. Kenseth going to try to get down into the groove. Once again down the front stretch. The 2, Rusty Wallace. The 21, Ricky Rudd. Side by side, entering 1 and 2. Rusty holds him off on the high side with a good run off of turn 2. Now down in the 3. Ricky Rudd gonna slide back up in line, get behind him and try to tuck in and get some draft. Look at this. Possibly 3 wide. Robbie Gordon. What is this man doing? He is absolutely nuts taking it 3 wide down in the turn 1. Trying to get both of these guys in the middle. And he's going to make it work, too. He clears Greg Biffle on the bottom. Clears Kevin Harvick on the top. Robbie Gordon, an absolute madman, makes it work in the middle of 3 wide. Ward Burton tries to go to the bottom of 3 as well. Entering turn 3. Almost contact being made. And a big pack of cars. That's 6 cars now racing for this position, and it might become 7. Scott Riggs back there as well. 3 wide behind them. And this is just a battle for... this is a battle for 16th. And all these guys all over the place going for it here. I'll tell you, this is the spot to watch right here. As Ward Burton drives away from all these guys. Robbie Gordon not too far behind. And here comes Greg Biffle to his inside. Johnny Sauter in the 30 behind. Underneath Robbie Gordon, behind Greg Biffle. Now looking to the inside all the way down to the white line on the front straightaway. Has no draft help heading down into turn 1, but is going to make it work. Biffle checks up big time. Robbie Gordon had to check up to avoid him. That almost ended in a wreck. Luckily it didn't. We're still going here at California. And man, Auto Club 400 might be one of the craziest races of the season. Because look at this. Even without the crazy draft package, they're still all over the place. Scott Riggs says it's his turn to try to gain a few spots. He's going to take it down to the bottom, clears Brian Vickers. Vickers had to back out of it there. I don't think Riggs was going to let up. But Greg Biffle comes back on the high side, entering 3. Riggs going to try to keep his nose in there. Has to let it go. Down the front stretch. Side by side, Robbie Gordon, Ward Burton, and Ward's brother Jeff not too far behind. Jeff Burton starting to catch these guys. These boys are all over the place here. Whoa, Mark Martin about caused a wreck. Almost cleared himself on the 15 of Michael Waltrip. Mark Martin keeping it straight for now. And that Viagra number 6. Michael Waltrip up in front of him in that Napa Auto Parts number 15, and that Army number, the Go Army number 01. That's Joe Nemechek on the bottom. All these guys battling for th place? No, 11th place. And a lot of lap traffic here. They're staying up out of the way for the most part. So good job on them to stay high. The 09 almost came down and cut off the 88 of Dale Jarrett, but he was trying to get by the 98 at the same time. And the lap traffic is allowing this pack further back to run down the 88, and the guys ahead of him, they're all starting to get bunched up. I sincerely apologize for the music. I know it's gotta be very annoying. It's annoying me right now for sure, but I'm already 24 minutes into this video. I'm not cutting it now to restart later on because some fools want to play music. So I mean, I can't control that, so we have to deal with it. I'm sorry. It's just, it is what it is. But I feel my whole bed vibrating right now because of how loud it is. There's no point in this. Like, what are we celebrating? There's nothing to celebrate. Well, I'm not sure why we need music this loud for no reason. I never heard anything about a party, and I wasn't invited, so that makes it even worse. But still got a crazy battle going on here. And unfortunately, that battle is going to have to wait because it's now that time for us to take a break as Tony Stewart goes underneath Jeff Gordon. So it's that time. We have to take a break. We'll be right back after this. I apologize. I'm so sorry. And we are back as green flag pit stops are underway. Jeff Gordon coming out of pit road. Tony Stewart and Jimmie Johnson haven't been down yet. Or at least I don't think Jimmy has. Tony Stewart, Kevin LePage coming into the pit road. Stewart a little slow. Yep, he's coming in the pit road as well. Jimmie Johnson following him in, it seems. So is Dale Jr. So this is this is going to allow Kasey Kahne to lead a lap here in the EMG Cup Series, leading his first laps, I believe, on the channel. So how about that for Kasey? Or not on the channel, but in the EMG Cup Series, the rookie Kasey Kahne leading laps here from California Speedway in his first season here in the EMG Cup Series, replacing Bill Elliott in the 9. Elliott, now a part-time driver, as we all know, doesn't have a full-time ride for this season. Kasey Kahne coming down pit road now. So are Matt Kenseth, Michael Waltrip, and Dale Jarrett. Jeff Gordon coming around to get his lap back. And Tony Stewart exiting pit road right now. This is going to be close. No, it's not going to be close at all. Jeff Gordon just blasts by the 20 who was exiting the pits. And he's going to take the lead right back here from California. Tony Stewart not even up to speed yet. But Stewart on fresh tires. Jeff Gordon already has a few laps on his tires. We'll see if that small difference, or small, I don't even know. I lost what I was trying to say. I lost everything completely. So we're going to move on. We're going to see if it makes the difference, though. We're going to see if that small difference in laps of which they pitted makes a difference. In the long run, I doubt it will. But we will see. Jeff Gordon coming to the lap. Ryan Newman down the backstretch into turn 3. Newman stay high. Great job by him to get out of the way. That's not really characteristic of him to get out of the way of the leader so easily like that. But did so pretty well. There's nothing really going on the track right now, so right now would be the perfect time to take another break. We'll be right back after this. And we are back here from California Speedway after our final commercial break here during the race, unless we get some sort of a caution or something. But that was our final commercial break. Final schedule for commercial break, I should say. So we should see things to the end now. Jeff Gordon cutting through the lap traffic. Tony Stewart not too far back, slowly catching the 24. We know Gordon was to win here because he's from California. He's a California kid who moved over to Indiana to get his racing career started. Tony Stewart, on the other hand, from Indiana. Started off in IndyCar and moved his way over to stock car racing. And now here in the MG Cup Series trying to get his first win. So we have the hometown hero versus the kid that's never won before. We're going to see how this plays out. And then there's Jimmie Johnson further back, getting by Dale Jr. Johnson has a very fast car here today. We know he's going to be hard to stop as well. And then Rusty Wallace, if he played his cards right, could possibly win if it comes down to strategy. So no one's ever really out of the picture in an MG Cup Series race, but I'd say anyone in the top 5 really has a shot. Anyone else is kind of, I mean, unless Jeremy Mayfield can run down the 2, these guys are all in striking distance. So even if it does come down to strategy, I don't think Rusty will have an easy win, because these guys are catching them. They will possibly battle for it. John Andretti staying high, up out of the way. Tony Stewart using the draft to his advantage to get more speed down the front stretch. He's brought Jeff Gordon's lead down to within 3 seconds. It'll be close by the end of this event, but it'll be interesting to see as well how things play out. Jeff Gordon might just be saving his stuff a little bit here. Here's the music again. Gordon going 207, 208 down the front stretch into turn 1. And Tony Stewart 3 wide underneath the lap cars, gets by them with ease. Jeff Gordon going 205 down the back stretch, so is Tony Stewart. So these guys are pretty much even down the back straightaway. Neither one of them really had draft. Gordon down the front stretch is going to have draft from a lap car. It's the 90, AJ Henriksen, and the 98 of Todd Bodine in front of him. He's going 209. Tony Stewart going 211 down in the turn 1. These guys pretty much even. I cut away a little early, so who's to say Jeff Gordon wasn't going 211 down in the turn 1 as well. But Tony Stewart is catching the 24 big time here. He's got the lead down to within a second as we come to 11 laps to go here. And I think at this rate, the way that Tony's catching Jeff, he's got more than enough time to run him down. But now he's stuck behind lap cars. They're going 3 wide in front of him here. He's really got nowhere to go. Stuck on the high side, gonna try to make it work, make it stick up top and get by the 90, but he's also got to deal with the 98 being right in front of him as well. Jeff Gordon trying to use this to his advantage as Tony Stewart got it down almost to a second. Behind them, Jimmie Johnson and Dale Jr. going at it for third. They've got the lead down to within 4 seconds, almost 3 seconds now. Stewart gets back by the lap cars. He falls back to a 1.5 seconds behind. Not too far back. Contact almost resulted in a wreck. You saw the 98 get a little sideways there, but they keep it straight for now. Tony Stewart dealing with more lap traffic, with 10 to go, coming to 9 to go. Tony Stewart 3 miles an hour faster through the corner than Jeff Gordon was last time by, through 1 and 2 there. Now only 1 lap car separates the 2, and both cars are now in frame. Jeff Gordon just out of frame there. Tony Stewart running them down big time here. Got the lead down now to within a second, almost half a second. dives down to the inside of Ryan Newman. Newman not making it easy for Tony Stewart here. As Ryan Newman just accelerated off the corner. Stewart gonna have to set him up and try to dive down in there again here. But now Newman goes all the way down to the racing line. That's the Ryan Newman I know. And now here he comes. Tony Stewart to the inside. Jeff Gordon down on the bottom as well. Stewart trying to use the draft to the best of his abilities. Doesn't have much of it to use. Gordon not giving him much. Now here comes Stewart by Newman. Gordon entering from the high side all the way down to the bottom. Possibly saving his tires. I'm not sure. Maybe not turning the wheel as much. And not going as fast through the corners. That could definitely be a strategy to see Tony Stewart using up his tires here. But he's got a big run through 3 and 4. Out of turn 4, who's going to lead the funny lap, I believe, is going to be Jeff Gordon as he blocks the 20 down the racetrack side by side for the lead here at California. Lap 70, 6 laps to go from California in the Auto Club 400, and it's getting close here. It is getting tight for the lead. Jimmie Johnson and Dale Jr. have brought it down now to within 2 seconds of the leader, so they're running them down as well as the battle for the lead kicks off here. And we got trouble. Kevin Harvick into the wall, coming to the line. It'll be 4 laps to go as the caution is out, and I believe we're past the point of no return, so this race will most likely end under yellow. Yeah, there's the pace car. Pace car is on the racetrack. Caution is out. And Tony Stewart, your leader, Jeff Gordon, has got to be fuming here, as it looks like he was going to try to run him back down. Probably hoped for that caution 1 lap earlier. And Tony Stewart may have just won. We're going to go back now, take a look at what just happened to Kevin Harvick here in the 29. As it looks like things are going to end under caution. So watching the 29 of Kevin Harvick down the backstretch into turn 3. Harvick down to the bottom of the racetrack, and Greg Biffle's just there and sends him into the outside wall. Harvick not clear, clears himself and sends himself into the outside wall hard with the back end of the car. Just as Tony Stewart passed Jeff Gordon for the lead. He probably needed that caution to happen a lap earlier. But man, I doubt we'll get this race restarted by the end here. Oh, we will. Lights are out on the pace car. And that means 1 to go. So it'll be a one lap shootout here from California Speedway. Things are going to get interesting here in the Auto Club 400. A lap car separates Ryan Newman, or excuse me, Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. So it'll just be first and second going at it here. If Gordon can time the restart well, he can possibly have a shot at it. But he has to pass on the outside. Can't pass on the inside line before the start-finish line. That is the rule. That's always has been the rule. Can't pass on the bottom before you cross the start-finish line. Once you cross, you can go down there, do as much passing as you want. But before the start-finish line, you cannot pass on the bottom, only the outside. So, it'll be interesting to see. Even if he does time to restart well, will he stay in line long enough to try to pass him on the bottom? Or will he immediately pull up to the high side and try to get the run on the top? It'll be interesting to see. Pace car is about to make the hard left turn on a pit road. I thought it was over, but it's not. Tony Stewart has to hold off Jeff Gordon for 1 lap here at California Speedway. I've got spit all in my mouth. I am sorry. This is exciting. Green flag is out. Jeff Gordon timed it perfectly. Pulls to the high side. Could not get a good enough run. Heading down into turn 1 this time. Gordon now has Ryan Newman to his inside. Here comes Dale Jr. on the bottom. 3 wide. Just like his move at Texas for the win. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 3 wide for second place. And that's what Tony Stewart wanted to see in his mirror. because he is scooting away from the rest of the pack. Here comes Dale Jr. in the bottom. He's going to get a great run through 3 and 4, but it's not going to be enough. Tony Stewart is going to get his first career MG Cup Series win right here in California after a crazy battle and a crazy race and just a crazy finish. A one-lap shootout here from California, and Jeff Gordon falls all the way back to 4th. But Tony Stewart is your winner. And I'll tell you what, he earned that one. He drove as hard as he could, ran down Jeff Gordon after being 3 seconds back. Actually, no, 5 seconds back. And he ran him down from the moment of green flag pit stops all the way to the finish. And he passed them with 4 laps to go. The caution came out. We all thought it was over. And a one-lap shootout to the finish determined the finishing order of this one. Jeff Gordon loses 2 spots when he tried to make the move, and then Ryan Newman got to his inside. Newman obviously not going to lift. I mean, he's a race car driver. He doesn't get paid to lift off the gas, no matter who you are, if you're the leader or what. And it showed right there, and it affected the outcome of this race. Tony Stewart doesn't even care. He is your winner here today for the first time, and he's going to celebrate here from California after the Auto Club 400, and a crazy race, a very exciting one there at the end. But up next is Richmond International Raceway. Oh boy, that's going to be chaos. I still haven't found still haven't made a good package for Richmond, so might just have to deal with what we have. But your point standings after this: Jimmy Johnson leading the points, 160 points over second place Jeff Gordon. Then behind them, the 8 of Dale Earnhardt Jr. third in points. Mark Martin, Tony Stewart rounding out your top 10 or top 5. Kevin Harvick rounds out the top 10 in points. And looking at your wins, as far as wins go this season, Jimmy Johnson with 3 wins. Jeff Gordon with 1. Dale Jr. with 1. Mark Martin, Tony Stewart, Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Chris Mack all have wins this season. But Chris Mack all the way back 25th in points. Matt Kenseth 23rd. They're probably not going to be championship contenders this year. They're really just trying to improve their point standings positions at this point. But they are race winners here in the MG Cup Series in the 2004 season. So it's going to be a crazy one. A crazy season. But Jimmy Johnson at the moment, 160 points over Jeff Gordon. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things go for the rest of the season. But up next, Richmond, then the Coke 600 at Lowe's Motor Speedway, Dover, and then Kansas and Michigan. So these next couple of races will be wild for sure. But your Auto Club 400 at California Speedway was wild. Tony Stewart the winner. There's your finishing order. Man, what a race that was. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next race. And until then, peace.